I like the nocturnal vibe of this track. The misty atmosphere washing over the clicking drum loop sounds pretty good. Drake's verse is decent, even though he's not really saying anything that I already haven't heard from him, but I did enjoy the sparse hook. The way it kind of bleeds into the overall sound is pretty alluring. I enjoyed it. Drake on this track is talking about the idea that people don't take initiative towards the things they always talk about. There is an ode to his mother, grateful for how she raised him being a single mother. But musically speaking, it's pretty inoffensive. The soul sample production is alright, and Drake's flow and verse is okay. It's eh. This is another inoffensive track. The nighttime production tone is okay. The percussive loops and the hi-hats carry throughout the entire song. Giveon's vocal contribution on the chorus is kind of out of place, if you ask me. And the excerpt from Eminem's Superman is heard here, except it's more like an alteration to fit Drake's personality. It's nowhere near as aggressive as Eminem's. It's more to kind of show off Drake's lonely lifestyle. But outside of that tribute, it kind of just drags on and just makes me want to listen to the original Superman anyway. Here we have a slower R&B focused track with Chris Brown, who doesn't have a verse, but he just kind of does the background vocals. And Drake is melodramatically singing about this girl who betrayed him over this incredibly boring beat. It lost my attention after 40 seconds, and I really couldn't get back into it. It's very life-sucking. I actually really enjoy this. It is more of the same, especially if we're talking about Drake relatively, but the groove on this dopamine-deprived take on the cha-cha slide is actually pretty alluring. The verses aren't saying anything interesting, but they do complement the main attraction of the song pretty well and ends up being one of the more tolerable tracks. This is quite a generic, sleepy trap rap song. I liked Future's verse a little bit, but it is so short-lived in comparison to more of Drake's drivel. The line about this girl being vegan yet having beef with Drake actually had me laughing for the rest of the song. It was so childish hearing this overused phrase and like Drake's serious vocal delivery, like he's pissed off while saying it. It was so funny. That was like the only thing of value I pulled from this song. I am downright impressed at how many times I've heard the same beat variant over and over again on this project, and we're only halfway in. It is a nighttime bass-heavy track, very similar to what we've already heard before. Drake has these tinges of regret and sadness in his vocals, talking about a relationship, LMAO. And I thought the core melody was okay. It was just really painfully mediocre to listen to. After a bunch of sappy songs about relationships so far on this project, Drake finally shows some personality on this song. His flow and his confidence radiate throughout the entire track. The facilitating instrumental actually complements Drake pretty well here. It didn't blow me away, but I thought it was more enjoyable. This is probably my favorite track on the project. Future, Young Thug, and Drake all sound like they're having fun with their verses as they play homage to the Atlanta rap collective D4L. They shout out the members of the collective over this trap rap instrumental with some Eastern samples, I believe. It's just a song I can turn my brain off to and really just kind of get ignorant with. I have no idea what to say about this track besides that the pairing of these two artists yield quite a hazardous result. Drake's verse is boring as hell, and I have no idea what Cardi is doing on this track. His nasally high-pitched vocals are interesting to say the least. They're very grating to my ears. I hate it. I hate it so much. This track legitimately pissed me off. The first 20 seconds or so had me excited because I thought it would take a detour into a different instrumental venue rather than listening to the insanely amount of repetitive trap rap instrumentals. It had some bass guitar, there were some live drums. It was actually pretty chill to listen to. That instrumental palette is then shot out of a cannon into the next hemisphere to make space for another generic Drake song.
We have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok, and flat out deceived.
I'm tired at this point. It's inoffensive, okay? That's it. This song samples a cathedral-like choir for its beat, I think kind of taking something from maybe Kingdom Hearts or maybe Final Fantasy. And that is the most amount of enjoyment I got out of the song. The verses from Drake, 5-0 I believe, and Sosa are okay. It's eh. On the closure of this project, 00 Drake has these weird vocal inflections that make him sound British, like he's trying to rip off 21 Savage or he's like breaking his cover or something. It is hilarious to listen to. Otherwise, it's more of the same stuff that I've already heard. It's nothing special. I am well aware that this is just a demo tape Drake released. These are all kind of like throwaways, and it's not meant to be taken seriously, especially since he has a new album coming out in the summer. But this project does not give me any hope for that upcoming album. Most of the beats are reused, recycled, and just flat out boring. Drake isn't showing off anything new in his musical arsenal. I know he is very comfortable with his very specific brand of music since so many people like it, but for me it is getting tiring to the point where I don't want to hear anything more from Drake. So much of his recent output has been below mediocre. He can make hit singles for sure, but he has not released a competent project in quite a while, and this is no exception. I give it a